Hello and welcome to Grey Rock GT YouTube channel. Today we're at Grand Valley Highway in Group 3 cars, and you can see here that we're starting in third place. I'm in the Peugeot RCZ and we are just about to get going. As you can see, we're gaining fast on second, and as I go into this first bend, I'm thinking to myself that if I get a good run, I might make it down the bottom of this hill and get ahead. But as you can see, Lorenzo is keeping the inside line. I actually go a little bit wide there. I missed my turn-in marker, just following so close to the car behind. And as I hit the brakes here, he covers the inside. Good defence. But I get a better exit. And it's actually at this point that I'm starting to think that I'm a bit quicker than him. So I should be able to get by okay. So as you see, he takes the wide line there, I come in tight and get by him. In the end, fairly straightforward move. If we take a look, you can see he actually gets a little bit out on the wide, dirty stuff, dirty tyres, and I get on through there. So now, following Bing Bing in through the tunnel. And as we go through the tunnel, again, I hit my braking marker, and I can see that Bing Bing, actually a little bit of touching there, and I go up the inside. Maybe the move was a little bit pushed through and he flashes the lights a bit at me, but as we look back we can see that as I hit the brakes and go on the inside, he takes a little bit of a wider line. And yes, maybe there is a bit of rubbing there, but I think I had the line there and he was trying to turn in a bit more, but I was there. So as we go through the tunnel, I'm actually it was at this moment that I realised, looking down, that I actually made a mistake and I started on the soft tyre. Whereas, as if we're familiar with this race, this is Daily Race C this week in Gran Turismo, that the best and the quickest strategy is hard, then onto soft. So coming through the tunnel, and I realise I'm going to have to make the most of this tyre. I wasn't sure. I'd done this race a few times and I'd done hard, and normal strategy was 5 or 6 laps on the hard tyre and then 3 or 4 laps on the soft. So you can see here we actually fast forward to lap 4. The tyres are pretty much gone. That last lap was a bit dodgy and I come into the pits. So losing those few positions, I had managed to pull out a gap of about 4 seconds on second and third place as we went through. So coming out of the pits, I rejoin here in 10th position, 11th position. So coming out of the pits on a new set of hards, coming up to this first turn, and the first thing I realise is that there is far less grip. That these hard tyres really just don't have the same level of grip. Someone's hit a bollard into the middle of the course there. Don't know how that happened. But yeah, lap 5, starting, coming down the hill. And as we go to the end of lap 5, I can see a few cars are starting to come in. So they're doing the 5-4 split. Someone actually coming in there, the Magic, coming in on soft tyres after 5 laps. That must have been a difficult enough stint. But go up into 6th anyway, taking the 6th lap start and trying to make up as much time as I can on the cars ahead. So fast forwarding, end of lap 6, we can see the leader is just into the pits. He's coming off the hards, as well as second and third place coming into the pits off the hard tyres. Just behind me, as I start to notice now, I've got Rigo, the Italian, who pitted a lap earlier, pitted on lap 5 from hards onto softs. So I take the lead, moving into turn 1, start of lap 7. And I can see actually that Rigo, the Italian behind, managed to do the undercut on Bing Bing coming through a lap earlier on the pits, fresh set of tyres, and he managed to pull those softs and bring him into second place. So if I actually go back to Rigo to take a look at his point of view, you can see he's on a lap old set of soft tyres, less wear than I had. He's got less fuel, down to half a tank of fuel here, but you can see he's able to take a really tight line through the corners here, and he's catching on me in a big way. So as we take that turn, I took it a bit tight, and he's catching on me very, very quickly. And as we go into this set of corners before the bridge, Again, you can see he's just able to take that corner with so much more speed, and he's catching me. So really making that mistake at the start and not changing onto the hard tyres to start this race really has cost me. I think that I definitely had the pace on second and third. If I had been on the same tyres, I think I still would have been able to catch and potentially pass them in the first stint, and then use those softs at the end. So as we come through here, I take the line a bit wrong. Again, the hard tyres just don't have the same grip, and I said there's no point in defending. What I needed to do now was let him go ahead, and I was going to have to try my best to defend and hopefully keep second place. So I stick into a slipstream down this long straight. He goes a little bit defensive. Again, he knows I'm on the hard tyre. I don't think he needed to go defensive. I was just trying to stick with him, but he takes a bit of a tighter line, and as I come out here, I just don't have the grip, the same acceleration to stay with him. And I can see that P3 Bing Bing is actually in my rearview mirror now, and he's catching fast. I obviously have to lift here coming through this sequence of corners. As we know, the track limit penalties are tough there. So as we come down to this hairpin, I actually didn't realise in the race, but Bing Bing was flashing the lights at me to let him go through, and probably thinking back, he pitted a lap later. He obviously had a bit of a tyre delta, and he thought that he could win this race if I had let him through, but I managed to defend. He's still flashing the lights at me here, and as we go through into the tunnel, he just takes the tight line, gets a better run, and he manages to get by. Again, looking back, I never really was going to hold on to second place, so I probably should have just let him go, and then potentially he could have gone on to win the race. Now my attention turns to fourth and fifth. So Lorenzo, who was in second place, I got it a bit wrong coming onto the bridge. Lorenzo was in second place at the start. He's now in fourth, and I'm thinking to myself, he's coming. He's going to be behind me really quickly. So as we go through this sequence of corners, you can see Bing Bing just really putting down the time, trying to catch first place, and moving on to the last lap. The really things that saved me, the saving grace, was that fourth and fifth here start having a battle. And actually we're going to look at this for a minute, because I thought this was great, clean racing. They really respected each other's space, gave each other space into different corners, and really close. But ultimately this battle for fourth place is what saved me for third. So coming down into the hairpin, fourth place gets it a bit wrong and goes wide. Fifth place leaves the room on the exit. Really respectful racing, and I'm just after going around the bend up ahead. But honestly, this is what saved me. This battle is what got me the third place. So as they go through, again very close, up ahead in first and second, there Bing Bing really isn't making any inroads into the Italian Rigo in the first place, so there isn't really much going on there, and I'm just in third place, moving along, hoping to keep the position. So as we get into this last sequence, end of the last lap, you see Bing Bing now is really after catching to Rigo, and I think he makes a bit of a mistake coming through here, cuts that a bit tight, goes wide, and he just can't get the power down then coming out into the last section. I think he really tries to put the foot down. Again, he's got a lap better tyres than Rigo, so I think he thought if he got a good exit off that, he could have got him to the line, but just made that mistake, hits the wall on the inside then trying to cut the corner, and Rigo, easy run to the line, and a victory. And then if we look back, I managed to bring it home in third, with a decent gap in the end behind. Again, if I hadn't made the mistake at the beginning, if I'd chosen the right tyres, potentially the win was there. But I thought overall it was a great race. I managed the mistake, I managed the tyres, and got what I could out of it in terms of third place. So yeah, really great race overall. I'm really enjoying Daily C this week. Really competitive, and that RCZ I think is a great car for us. So if you liked the video, please subscribe, give the video a like. It really helps out the channel as I'm trying to grow. But yeah, I'm Grey Rock GT. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Talk to you soon.